Hello and welcome to this latest segment of Voices from Our Schools. I'm your host, Kimberly Stender, and I welcome you to our show today. Most people assume that during the summer our schools close down, but indeed in the Office of the Superintendent, things are very busy. Our staff works on professional development, curriculum, we have human resources issues, we have new hires, we do special events and programming, to say the least. So our offices are a busy hive of activity, and we are so fortunate this summer to have two highly competent women who are interning with us, and I want to introduce them to you today and let you know a little bit more about them. So joining me on the show is our first intern, Harmony Jean Charland. Hello, Harmony.
Hi.
Hello, and Tian Busby.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Voices from Our Schools. So, let's start off with you, Harmony. You come to us from the UMass AmeriCorps Vista program, and you're affiliated with the Cecil office at UMass, which is Civic Engagement and Service Learning.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you decided to become an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer and how you wound up in the Office of the Superintendent this summer?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was kind of weird how I got this job or this opportunity. One of my friends was actually going for this opportunity. She told me about it, and she's like, "Hey, you should apply." At one point, there was 2 positions, so I applied, and I ended up getting the position, and she didn't. Which is she's cool with it. We're still friends.
That's good.
And so then when I met Carol, I was already working through the Cecil office through a class that I'm taking.
Carol Souls.
Carol Souls. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Carol Souls. When I met her, it was, weird because I'm already working through the Cecil office. So that's kind of how it all came about. And then after getting awarded the position, I found out where my sites are going to be. And one of my sites is Amherst Public Schools.
And we're happy to have you. And you're with us 2 days a week.
Yep. I'm here on Thursdays and Fridays.
Right. And then you also work in the Cecil, at the Cecil program with Carol and John Reif.
Yep.
And then you're also down in Holyoke for 2 days out of the week. So you're very, very busy.
I'm all over the place.
Yes. Well, we're really thankful and happy to have you in our midst this summer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Tian,
Yes.
you come to us from the Center for Community Engagement at Amherst College, and you're part of the Pioneer Valley Citizen Summer Program,
Yes.
which is, I believe, in its maybe 3rd year?
I think it's more than that, but in this sort of form of it, it's the 3rd year.
Okay. And why did you decide to apply to be an intern with the Office of the Superintendent?
Okay, well, it's twofold. One, the Pioneer Valley Citizen Summer Program is essentially an immersion program, so you either get to really know Amherst if that's where your internship is, or really get to know Holyoke if that's where your Holyoke internship is. And I'm a rising senior, and so I really wanted to get my fill of Amherst before I left the school. And so I knew I was interested in staying here for the summer, and then I was looking at all the opportunities that Amherst offers us, and you guys had a new internship, and I want to be a math teacher in high school after graduation right now. I think that's what I'm thinking about. And so seeing the administrative side was something I'd never done in past internships, and I know the Amherst school system is very central to the community, so I thought it would be a great opportunity.
Yeah, and it is, and
Yeah.
we're really glad to
really
have you
fun.
in our office. And Tian, you work 4 days a week
Yeah.
with us, and then Wednesdays you take a course at Amherst College.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that course and how it is integrated into the internship program?
Yeah, so on Wednesdays, both the Holyoke interns and Amherst interns have a class together with Molly Mead, who's one of the directors of the CCE, and she teaches us a lesson about whatever issue we're studying for that week. So this week, for example, it was public education. And then in the afternoon, the Amherst interns have lunch at one of the Amherst restaurants, so we get to see the local fare and eat delicious foods. And then we meet with various community leaders or community members who have done really cool things, and we just talk with them. They sort of give us a new perspective, and we see a new facet of the community. So it's part of the whole immersion, again, into the community. So food and then sort of the culture.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you're able to get off campus.
Yeah.
And has this opportunity afforded you a new perspective on the town where you go to school? It's not just what you do on campus, but now you see things
Yeah.
in a different scope.
I think it's made it now so that I view Amherst less as a college town and more Amherst is a college in the town, and I see Amherst more as a place where I might return to in the future as a living locale rather than just, it's my 4 years of college and then I'm out forever. Because I see sort of everyone involved in the community. I know about the town meeting now and how the government works and like the education system. And I really think it has sort of a great vibe, and there's a really good, I don't know, it's a very happy town is the vibe I get from talking to everyone, which I really, really like.
And you were surprised to find that?
Not surprised, I just hadn't really experienced it because you hear about the Amherst College bubble where like, you're in college during the school year and because of work and your extracurriculars, you really don't get out off campus. And so this summer, we're basically entirely off campus except for where we actually sleep at night. And so it's sort of outside the bubble looking in a little bit, and I'm really enjoying it.
You're immersed in Amherst.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a fun community. I'm happy that we're here, and I learn new things too. So it's great that you have that opportunity. And then Harmony, you are a journalism major at UMass, and you've had some really cool experiences throughout the academic year before you came to us.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the writing program that you're in and what you do down, I believe, in Holyoke?
Yep.
For the students in Holyoke High School, or the Boys and Girls Club.
So I'm involved in a lot of different community-based work. One of my classes that I take is called Community Journalism, where we work with the Commerce High School in Springfield.
Okay.
And we go in weekly and meet with Brian Duffy, who is a UMass alum. He's currently transitioning from an English/journalism teacher to the principal. It's a big move, of Commerce High School. So he's been extremely busy. But we work with all his classes and we teach the students different elements of journalism and how to incorporate these elements of journalism into their writing and into their community, and basically how to use journalism as a way to uplift their community. Recently, in the spring semester, we just took them over to Washington, D.C. The students, we took them to Washington, D.C. to the Newseum, which is a museum under the Smithsonian that's just dedicated to journalism. So the students got to take everything that we've been teaching them throughout the year and see it, how it plays out within journalism and the whole history of journalism. Like, I think the UMass students were a lot more amazed than the Commerce students. Like, we were like, oh my God, this is crazy. So it's really cool. And then also in the fall semester, 2011, me and a group of other students got together and we started a nonprofit called Sneakers for Success, which is
very impressive.
Yeah, it's amazing. We use sneaker culture and its subcultures like hip hop and graffiti and stuff like that to try as a way to engage with youth and then encourage them to pursue higher education. And especially within the sneaker industry, we try to teach them that not only can you wear the sneakers, but you could also, work within the industry. You could design the sneakers, you could market the sneakers. So there's a variety of different ways to get kids involved educationally through things that they're interested in, and that's our goal. And currently, prior to doing the VISTA program that I'm doing now, I was working with Holyoke Boys and Girls Club with Sneakers for Success. So going there as a VISTA, it's been cool because I already kind of know the students there and I know the staff, so it's been really welcoming, and I've been getting a lot accomplished.
Yeah, I bet. What made you decide to come up with the sneaker as your vehicle for this learning tool?
Well, most of us who are part of the organization, we are all inner city kids ourselves. We grew up in inner cities that are predominantly cities of color, like with individuals of color. And sneakers are just something that it really, if you go to school, no matter what's going on in life, if you have a new pair of sneakers on, I mean, it's all you need. It's like a status type thing. I mean, anything can be going on in life. You might have no food at home, your parents might have whatever's going on, but if you got a new pair of sneakers, you have respect. And that goes a long way.
It's empowerment.
Definitely. It's a huge empowerment. So we wanted to take that idea of sneakers and what it means to young people, especially young people of color, and show them like a new way to look at sneakers and then to use this passion that they have for sneakers to basically transition passion into their own lives, and then encouraging them to go towards higher education.
That is incredible. And then recently you were in New York City at New York University for a big conference that incorporated Sneakers for Success.
Well, it was our first annual fundraiser. It was called Soul Connections, and Soul was spelled S-O-L-E, Soul for your sneakers. And it was an amazing turnout. We had over 500 plus guests. We raised almost $5,000 for our organization to help with furthering our curriculum and opening more doors for us as far as developing partnerships with different other organizations. And it was amazing. We had performances, poetry performances, as well as music. A whole bunch of visual artists came out, food. We had tons of media coverage from all different aspects, whether it was sneaker blogs. The New York Village was there, which is like a daily newspaper or periodical in New York City. And it was an extremely great turnout. I mean, it was a lot of work because we are just starting off. We haven't even been an organization for a year. So, I mean, we were the staff, we were the crew. We set up everything, broke everything down. We did everything. So at the end of the night, literally, we were just dead. It was, but it was really, really good.
It was a labor of love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think it might be a good idea if we put up your website, so folks who are watching could maybe log on and see what you do, and possibly people who are watching can incorporate Sneakers for Success into their business plan or into their school or something. We'll get it going for you. So we'll make sure that we put that up on the screen.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, that's wonderful, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, getting back to all your worldly adventures and coming back to the office of the superintendent, why don't we talk a little bit about what projects you're working on. Now, I know you're both very busy, and we only have you for such a short time each day, but I will say that you are incredible time managers, and anything we put your way gets done, and gets done very professionally and competently. And I thought maybe the folks at home watching would like to learn a little bit more about what goes into your day and how it's structured and whatnot. So both of you arrive about 8 a.m. and leave about 4 in the afternoon, so it's a full day. And Tian, why don't we start with you? I know you work a lot alongside me doing stuff that I do, which we'll talk about later. But you also had 2 really large projects, one involving the Amherst Middle School Parent Survey and all the tabulation from those results for Principal Mike Hayes. And you're also working with Jim Regan, who is someone in our office, with a community mapping project that's been going on for a little while now. So why don't you tell us what those 2 projects involve and how you're moving them forward?
Yeah. So the parent survey is in its 3rd year. It's part of the middle school school improvement plan. And so Mike Hayes, I guess they sent it out in May, I believe. And so they got all of these responses back. And so I've basically been taking the sheets, which are like those bubble, standardized test forms, and inputting them into the computer. And then he wanted me to break it down by grade and team, and I might be doing a couple other demographic breakdowns, but basically it's statistical analysis of the results to make sure the school's doing well, and they want to see, what areas need improvement. Have things improved from last year? Are the problem areas that they identified last year better? Are things worse? And so that way it's just sort of, it gets the community on board because they put it out on the website so everyone can see this is what the school is doing. And it also is given to the administrators so that they know and can sort of check in with themselves and be like, here's where we are.
Right.
And then with the community mapping, which is through the Office of the Superintendent, it's in this stage trying to create a database with all of the programs and agencies and various services that are provided within the community for parents and students in the district, so that if they say, oh, I really need some form of health care, there'll be a healthcare tab and they can click on it and it'll have all of the different agencies providing healthcare and their hours and their description and who the contact person is and mailing address and everything. So that's the first step. And then beyond that, I believe we want to try and actually make it a map so you can say, oh, I live here. What's the closest healthcare to me? Or what is in my 2-mile radius that I can access that I need? And it's a lot of work just sort of gathering the resources. They sent out a survey in the fall of last year, I believe. And so we got some responses, but then we gathered more information off the web, and now we're re-soliciting them saying, is it okay if we use this in our database? And we're getting responses back now, which is really exciting, and everyone seems very pro community mapping, so it's great.
Yes, and I was in there at the inception of it back, I think it was just over a year ago.
Yeah.
We started this, and people are very excited about it, but I admit it did stall. And it's nice to know that you and Jim are working on it to bring this forward. And it is in our best attempt to get it out there by October, I would think. We would want that published and up on our website, and then be able to connect it to our partners' websites as well.
Absolutely.
So everyone in the community can access it. Well, thanks,
That's great. It's a tool not just for the district, but everyone beyond it, the elderly and younger kids who aren't in school yet because they're too young, parents, family, everyone.
Students,
college students.
Everybody. Well, thanks for that. And then Tian, you and I have been working a lot on special events and community partnership projects. So one of which is our Project Backpack Safe Seats for Kids program that the Office of the Superintendent works with our Amherst Police Department to promote. And this morning we are counting backpacks.
Yes.
And we have a lot of backpacks.
We do.
Which thanks
great.
to all of you who've donated, and please continue to send those donations in for our students in September. And so we've done that, and we've done some all-staff celebrations and community partner recognitions. This past Monday we were at the Chamber of Commerce golf tournament, where we raised a lot of money for Amherst Regional High School and the business program there. So you're really getting a feel for everything, it seems.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's what an internship is all about.
I love it.
Well, that's great. I'm glad. And Harmony, we have something huge coming up in 2013, September of 2013. It's our Minority Student Achievement Network National Student Conference. And you are working on this project with Dr. Marta Guevara and Sherry Abbott and Mary Custard from the high school, as well as myself and Superintendent Maria Garrick, to make this student conference where over 250 students come from all over the country with chaperones. They're going to arrive in Amherst in, I believe it's late September of 2013, and be exposed to higher education opportunities. And these are students of color from all around the country, some affluent, some impoverished. But we really want to give everyone the opportunity to see our local colleges and learn from leaders, national leaders, about achievement and education and your positive future. So can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
So what I've been doing, I mean, for starters, Amherst is probably one of the best places to come as far as a place to hold the conference because of the 5 colleges. EMSON essentially is combating achievement gaps between students of color and other white students. So, and when you think about that, that transitions right into the college level. And we're doing the same thing at UMass and all the other 5 colleges. So what I've been working on is locating other multicultural groups at all the 5 colleges and figuring out ways that we could set up some sort of dialogue between the high school students and these multicultural programs. So essentially you're teaming up these young students of color coming out of the high school with other students of color who are already within the 5 college area. And it kind of helps with that bridge of encouraging them to pursue higher education. I'm also researching the different businesses within Amherst and figuring out which businesses are owned by individuals of color and finding ways to also get them involved with EMSON, and basically showing the students of color who are coming to Amherst, students of color at the 5 colleges who are pursuing higher education, as well as individuals of color who have graduated, whether it be the 5 colleges or just have achieved some sort of higher education and now own businesses and are basically excelling, and kind of showing the students that there are barriers that need to be tackled, but it can be done. And these are the individuals who have done it. I'm also working on figuring out different ways to have this set up dialogue about race and with, again, the college students and the high school students to kind of get some history behind why there is achievement gaps and, there's a history here. It didn't just happen overnight. There's reasons why things are the way they are.
So it's not just in Amherst.
It's not just in Amherst at all.
It's widespread,
Exactly.
unfortunately. But we're looking forward to having this conference. It's such an honor that Amherst was chosen. And it will be a very long preparation process, one that's going to involve a lot of people. And I know you're laying the groundwork with Sherry, Mary, and Marta. So we appreciate all the hard work you've been doing.
Thank you.
And we really want to make this successful and worthwhile for our student visitors in 2013. I think it's also important to involve the entire community. So reaching out to local businesses as well as higher education plays a huge part in the planning.
Definitely, it definitely does.
It's that awareness. We want everyone to be knowledgeable about what's going to be happening and somehow be involved and, you know, encourage these visitors from the country who are coming to excel and achieve.
Definitely, there's tons of resources here in Amherst, so it's just really figuring out how can we make these resources work for EMSON and how can we make them coexist. So when the students come, it's just going to be like a great experience.
And I know at UMass you have Dr. Shelley Perdomo, who is very much involved with the Center for Multicultural Advancement and Student Success, which is CMAS.
Yep.
And you just said today that you were so surprised to see that at Hampshire College.
Oh yeah.
There's a huge
network of multicultural programs for minority students, as well as international students. They really have a lot of programs that are open up to students who are international students, a lot of support, which I didn't know about, to be honest. Like I was looking through it today and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Hampshire College compared to UMass is extremely smaller, you know, but I feel like they have more programs to offer students of color than we do, which was very shocking to me, but they have a lot of good programming. They have this, underneath, they call it the SOURCE, which it's an acronym, which I just learned about it today, so I don't really remember.
Okay.
But underneath that, they have 9 programs, and one of them was geared towards individuals of mixed race and this whole idea of identity and how do you identify yourself. They had one for young men of color, and just basically what it does is help them kind of feel comfortable within their own skin and understanding their place as a young man of color in today's world, and just tons of programs. And I was like, wow, Hampshire College.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
As Amherst colleges as well. I know they have a plethora of programs over there in dealing with in tackling multicultural issues. But what's very unique too about our area is that we have 2 incredibly impressive women's colleges. We have Smith and Mount Holyoke. So our visiting students, these women, will have the opportunity to tour Smith and Mount Holyoke, as well as the 3 in town here, and just kind of get a nice perspective of what their future may hold for them. It's not just your local college or, you know, a traditional co-ed college, but there are women colleges out there that provide an incredible level of education as well. So we're looking forward to reaching out to our 5 college partners and making all this happen for our students. This internship, now a lot of people applied for these internships here in the Office of the Superintendent, and you 2 were chosen to work with us. Tian, what do you hope to gain from this internship going forward? You know, you're here for a few more weeks, and then you're back at Amherst College. So what's your takeaway here?
Beyond just sort of getting a sense of Amherst, the community, like I already spoke about, it's seeing, since I'm interested in going into education after this, it's seeing the relationships that exist between teachers and administration and the principals, and seeing almost like the safety net that is beneath and all around teachers and students and parents. Because I've worked in classrooms before, but that was, I don't say a solitary experience, but it felt like the classroom was very contained in its, as its own entity. And so working in the superintendent's office is opening my eyes to how much Superintendent Maria Garrick is involved in all levels of the school. She knows a lot of the teachers by name. She seems to have a good rapport with the principals. And so it's really just the levels of sort of friendship and relationships that exist or can exist in administration. It's sort of what I would hope to look for in a district when I apply for jobs. And also the friendships within the particular office, because the office is almost all women, and I've never worked in a space like that, and I think it's very cool to see so many women leaders working sort of harmoniously together and having fun, and like occasionally, you know, having a small dance break if it's needed. And it's
sometimes it is.
Right, it's just very almost enlightening in like the least cliche sense of that term. Just like it's very cool.
You could have fun at work,
Right.
yet do a lot of
Right.
difficult work, make a lot of difficult decisions each day, and
And I think having fun, and I'm sure Harmony's experienced this too, is what makes the work easier. So even if you are having a struggle and you can go to your neighbor and just be like, oh, I'm working on this and it's giving me a little problems, and they can share their opinion, or they can, calm you down and just like make you have fun and like smile again, which can just sort of change your whole outlook. And I think that's really effective in an office.
it's definitely a nice place to work. And I like how you touched upon the collaboration that is so important to our schools here, and working together, and not just with administration, but also with the principals, our staff, our teachers, paraprofessionals, clerical, everyone, and our students benefit.
Yeah.
So that's really what I guess we're doing a pretty good job here.
Yeah, that's great. I think so.
And Harmony, how about you? What would you like to take away from this internship opportunity?
Well, like I said earlier, I have a pretty extensive background when it comes to doing community work. Excuse me, and I'm a journalism major, and I'm pretty much at the point now where I don't know where I want to go as like for my future career wise. I'm very involved with social justice and let's make a change, but then I'm loving this whole idea of working with kids and being at the site, and so I'm hoping that at the end of the summer I'll have a much clearer view on how it is I could take all these different passions and put it into like one thing and then stamp it and call it my job. So that's like what I'm hopeful. That's what I'm hoping to gain out of this experience, is just to have a much more clear view on what it is I actually want to do with my life. It has been different working with Amherst Public School System because I've never worked in like the office kind of atmosphere, the administrative aspect of things. I've always been right out in front doing things, and like somebody else would do that.
Right.
So it's definitely given me a different outlook on what it takes for these things to be possible. It's just it's like a big circle, and everyone has their own individual part in order to make it run smoothly.
Yes.
So I've been definitely exposed to all these different jobs that everyone has in order to make this run smooth. So it has definitely made me consider things that I do like, things that I don't like, and like where it is that I want to be once I graduate. Which is soon.
Which is very soon.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. And then it's into the real world, because you're graduating in December?
No, I have. So this is my last year. I'm a rising senior. So
Okay.
Yep.
And same for Tian. Okay. It goes by very quickly, ladies, I must say.
Don't tell us that.
Yeah.
We don't slow it down.
We don't want to hear it.
The summer's already going by way too quick. I'm like, oh gosh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank you. We're actually out of time. Can you believe it? It went by so quickly. But I'm so glad both of you were able to join me today on Voices from Our Schools. And I look forward to working with you both for the next few weeks before our summer winds down and the first day of school starts. And also, I just want to extend our appreciation for all the time and commitment you put in, and all the liveliness that you bring to our office each day. And I'm hoping next year we'll get other interns just as incredible as both of you.
I'm sure you will.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
Harmony,
you.
thank you. Tian, thank you.
Thank you.
And viewer, thank you for joining us today on this latest, our edition of Voices from Our Schools. I'm Kimberly Stender, and I hope you have a great one. Bye-bye.